What's up, everybody?
Good morning. Happy Monday. Happy Monday. Happy Monday. Morning around 8:40. It's like a satisfying sound, isn't it, when you do that? Bing.
Yeah, it is.
Bing. Good morning, Sarah.
Sarah's in.
Let's go.
Sarah's in.
Breaking down football today, baby. It's back. It's the week.
We're getting close.
Happy Monday, Shane.
We're getting close.
Week 0.
Next week?
This is week 0. This week. It's week 0. Right? Yeah, this is week 0.
So then week 1 is next weekend?
Yes. The full slate. You're not talking about like week 0 is this week, and then the week after it's Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, college football. Games from Thursday on. Not this week, the following.
It's a beautiful time, isn't it? This is why we live.
Yeah. This is why you drink a ton of water this week.
This is
Get your butts hydrated.
This is why we are on this earth.
Thew, you're the man.
Yeah, Thew, I heard things went pretty well on Saturday.
Yeah, we earned that one, baby. I was redemption time. Celebrity softball.
Yeah, you have to recap that when we go on.
Yeah, we had a lot of fun.
Yeah, Thew. And then I heard apparently somebody over on another show was like kind of downplaying the win.
They did. I got a text that they were downplaying the win because it wasn't the same team.
Yeah.
Can you believe that? Just because your spot got stole. First time I ever went to the bump.
Yeah, you haven't pitched like that since high school.
Never.
What do you mean? You used to be a pitcher.
Yeah, but this way, not this way.
Yeah. By the way, how did the day of school go today?
Great. Morning. Got up, man. They're ready to go. It's early. Yeah. Bring that trophy back home. That's right.
Bring that trophy back home. Was there a trophy?
No. I don't know. No.
Coach 840 debuted for. Oh,
boy.
Coaching flag football?
Oh, my gosh. This is a big day.
Hooks, what do you think of that?
I love it. Big day.
I think they're winning the Natty.
Big day. It's his debut, though. Big day.
Good luck, Coach.
Good luck.
We'll need weekly recaps on how the games go.
Yes. Absolutely. What's the team name? That's the cool part. They all get cool team names. Tanner plays on the Niners. They got smoked week 1.
Sit tight for me.
Yep.
This is the Morning Hookup on KFOR.
Good morning, Lincoln, Nebraska. Happy Monday. Welcome in the Morning Hookup. Phillips, Will Wilson, back after the weekend, baby.
What's up, everybody?
What's up? Thanks for hanging out with us.
Good morning.
Goodness. What a great start. Kids back to school. I hope everyone out there that has to drive on certain roads in this city are being patient because it is a complete disaster on certain parts of this city right now.
What's happening?
Like, I want to say I didn't go this way today. My daughter has to get to school this way, but what I'm hearing, 56, parts of 56, parts of 70th are closed down in major parts. 84th, I still think is closed down up on like towards, it's a disaster. It's a crazy everywhere in that side of town. Be patient. Take alternate routes if you can.
Yikes.
Okay? That's it. I'm not going to talk more about it.
That doesn't sound fun.
We're having too much fun. But welcome, man. Got a lot of fun today for you guys. We're going to start breaking down games. Like we said Friday, we're not going to give you the traditional blah, 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 9-3, 8-4, 7-5. We're not going to do that.
Yeah.
We're going to talk our ways through games. We got previews, do a little research, see what each team's got. I do know this when we get to it. I do know this. If you look at early odds, just early future odds, right? You can go out there right now and look at, there's sites you can find that has every game predicted out there, right? From an odds perspective. Okay, on the schedule. Future odds. Nebraska 9-3. Favored in 9, not favored in 3. That means nothing, by the way.
No.
It means 0. Just something to throw out there.
It's money.
So also
money.
We're getting closer. Claire's probably not on. She's not on yet, is she? We're getting closer on t-shirts.
Yeah, I
So you know. You saw it this morning.
Yeah, you showed me. And I got really excited.
Yeah, it looked
I got really excited.
Yeah,
I love the way those came out.
I think we got it where we needed to be.
Yeah.
So now we got to go next phase. Now we'll figure that out next.
Yep. But there's
So-
a few more steps, and then we got to have some sort of like party.
Oh, yeah.
We have to have a T-shirt.
Well, that'll be
party.
somehow we do the meetup somewhere. Like we do, I don't know. It's a happy hour meetup. It's whatever, right? We'll pick something. Maybe we'll do like do some kind. I don't know. We'll do something.
Yeah, because we got to get a way to get these shirts out.
Yeah, we
You
could
know.
go. We could go live
Yeah,
on the
and
stream or something.
yeah, we could
For
do
like a meetup.
we could do something like that. And you know, I think we made a rule that you have to live in Nebraska to get shirts. So sorry, Ernesto, you can't get one.
Oh wow!
I'm joking.
Wow!
I'm joking.
Fire, man!
I'm
Fire.
just kidding.
So we're getting close to that. Again, we're going to talk games today. Evan Bland here in about 15 minutes. Nebraska baseball continues to corner the market on one position in 25. It's pretty solid. When you look at that, we'll have stories that we missed. Also want to shout out, let's see, the police department, the fire and rescue of Lincoln. And as we were, yeah, I saw that. What? We got a chance, blessed to be able to go do this every year. Probably last, 4 or 5 years, roughly? I don't know. 3 years? I don't know how it is.
Well, the celebrity games have been going on
For a
since
while.
At least 6-7 years.
Yeah, and I think, please, let's use celebrity lightly. We just get to be a part of a lot of other heroes that are on that field.
Yeah.
Like you got the police department, you got gals and girls and guys from all over the police department. You've got the same with the fire and rescue department. They get a chance to come out, play a little competitive softball. They loosely call us celebrities, okay? But we have a lot of fun mixing in and out with those guys and gals, you know, and tell them that we appreciate what they do.
Mhm.
Like they had a nice little crowd out there for this one too. Nice day, a little warm, you know. You get also to get their families on the field, which is cool. Play catch, do a lot of fun stuff. Connor, our own Connor Clark was out there calling the game from the
Oh,
field.
Connor was out
Connor
there.
was on the field calling
Did
it.
you get caught up with him?
I did, man. Asked him
Good.
how he's doing. He's in good shape.
Good.
You know, he was on field. He had all the rosters and, you know, just going through it, man. We had our walk-up songs. I got our pictures up on the board as we ran through.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
I got a chance to make my I walked into this thing nervous. We got beat up last year. By the way, by the same team. There were some young guys on that team. Young dudes. Right? But we got our redemption. 23-9.
23-9.
23-9.
Wow.
Shout out to stellar defense. It was behind me. Stellar defense behind me.
Because you were pitching.
I pitched. I took it on. I said to you, manager, Skip. Hey, Skip, I'll pitch.
And Thew was the coach.
Yeah, he managed it well. By the way, that's not easy, by the way, because there's 20 of us. 20 in the lineup.
So there's almost a run for everybody. There
Yes.
was.
Yeah, we
There's
had
a run
one
for
run- yeah,
everybody on the team.
20 in the lineup. Steve
Wow.
Malone managed it well. And I went through 9. We rocked it through 9 innings.
My
Sta-
man.
Stayed up there.
Hooks
23-9. 9 runs? Come on.
So in your softball pitching debut, you are 1-0.
I don't know if I want to do it again. I think we just want to remember that.
I don't know.
Somebody was a little hurt about it this morning, I heard.
Yeah, you were talking about this.
Yeah, it's a little message. Somebody, yeah, that's not the same team as last year. That was a good team. I got a
Yeah.
few balls hit right at my face
Because they got
and my shin,
the team you played on got beat last year.
probably by the same score. Opposite, flip flop.
Yeah. So I heard about this. There was a gentleman on a show in our building.
Yeah,
Why can't we just call him out?
JP likes. What happened?
Yeah, it was
He
JP.
likes to pitch. I
JP
mean,
over on kicks.
he
was
might be a little worried that I'm taking the spot.
I think he is, because you know how he is with softball. Like he wants to be the next big thing in softball.
He is. I'm surprised he's not listening. I hope he does.
Well,
come on down, JP.
Yeah, because he was saying
Nick hit one out.
He had a home run.
Yeah. You had a couple hits, I think. Sack fly. I had a couple hits. Everybody played well, man. Like defensively, we were really good defensively.
How did Thew look running the bases? Because
look, man. I tell you what, I was coaching first one time and he hit one. He legged out a double.
Really?
He can't be feeling good last couple of days. Though.
Yeah, that's gotta hurt.
But he did minimize his playing first base. Couple innings. He minimized himself.
Good.
He knew what to do.
I remember the early days when we were doing this thing, and it was just media.
Yeah, we used
it wasn't.
By the way, we used to rock them.
Well, except for that one year, I can't remember. I think it was the first year we had no outfield, and that all you had to do was hit a ball to the outfield, and you were getting a double, triple. I think we lost like 25-2 or something.
That's right. Things changed after that. We used to rock them. We used to rock that other house.
Well, congrats on the win.
It was fun, man. It was a lot of fun. We got pictures afterwards, and kids got to come down, run some bases before the Salt Dogs played. So that was really cool.
Cool.
Really cool. There's a few Salt Dogs that are out watching us, and whoever they were playing was out there too, kind of watching. And yeah, man, I did give up a home run though. That was
Oh, you gave up a home run.
Yeah, I gave up one.
Were you pretty mad about that?
Well, not really, because the dude was really big.
Oh.
And I threw him inside, and I was hoping he hit it that way.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I wasn't risking this again.
Yikes. Well, good job.
A lot of fun.
Good win.
Out. So, like we said, all right, let's go, man. Here we go. Husker football, man. We're a couple weeks away. Again, like we said, this is the Saturdays coming up. There is a game. I know it's probably one that you're going to go, it brings back so many bad memories for us, but it's the Ireland game.
The Ireland game.
11 o'clock on Saturday.
Yeah, who's playing?
Florida State, Georgia Tech.
Florida State, Georgia Tech.
Yeah. I mean, it's going to be, but again, who cares? You're going to wake up on Saturday and watch a football game, a real one that counts.
At 11 a.m. too.
11 a.m.
If there's any excuse.
Give yourself a reason.
It also gives you a reason to start drinking.
Yeah.
At 11 a.m.
Yeah. Like this is prep work for the Saturday after.
That's right.
Right? You can get out there, get all your tailgate stuff up, and like do a mock run through, like in your driveway.
Is there any other games on Saturday?
Oh yeah, there's a few other ones that nobody really cares about.
Okay.
Yeah, just that one. I mean, that's the one that's going to be like, all right, it's worth watching. It's Ireland, yada yada yada. After that next week, Thursday through Monday, you get a ton. Everybody plays.
Hello, darkness, my old friend.
Yes.
That sucked. Hate thinking about that.
I know.
We should have won that game.
Yuck.
Not that it mattered, but
I'd be mad. But Nebraska, again, we know coming up, they're going to kick off the following week on that Saturday. And then you'll have UTEP coming to town. UTEP.
Okay, remind me, El Paso, University of Texas, El Paso. Is that right?
Wow, you nailed it, Will Wilson.
Thank you very much.
Well done, my friend.
One of my earliest memories of UTEP, I was a kid. I bet you I was like 7 years old. And I was at, my family, we were over at a friend's house and we were watching college football. And UTEP beat Missouri. I think it was in Missouri.
Oh, you were like, yeah, I never have a chance.
And I remember everybody there was like super happy because obviously Missouri losing at home.
Misery has misery. You love it.
Right. And so that's my earliest memory of UTEP. I also, are they the Miners? Is that right?
I think you're right. Correct.
Yeah, because Glory Road, the movie Glory Road.
Yeah, you're right.
Was UTEP. Yeah. So anyways.
So 2:30 start, Memorial Stadium. That's on Fox, by the way. It's going to be on Fox. So you're going to be up in front at 2:30. UTEP, looking at UTEP right now again, we're going to break. No, we're not going to get intense and break it down, but boy, UTEP, by the way, coming off they got a brand new head coach.
Who is it?
New head coach. His name is Scotty Wallen, 34 years old. Scotty Wallen. They're coming off, by the way, in the last 6 seasons, UTEP's been 20-49. He is the youngest new coach, Scotty Walden.
Yeah,
right?
Walden.
Youngest coach in the FBS ranks.
He's the youngest coach.
34 years old, man. Last year, UTEP 3-9. I tell you what's interesting about this, if you look, I did a little not extensive stuff, just reading a few things. Talking about like flipping a roster. Like I know we talk about Colorado, which we're going to break them down a little bit later in the show. They look like UTEP, 75% of their roster will be brand new.
Yeesh.
They're talking about 18 new starters.
Wow.
Now, he did have like 11 or so players follow him from Austin Peay, where he played before, where he coached before.
Austin Peay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Where's that at? Texas?
Texas.
Okay. Well, it sounds like they're going through a little bit of a
I mean, you're going to be
rebuild.
talking about you got a quarterback battle, a sophomore quarterback that's going to be competing with a transfer from Austin P. You got a defense, by the way. They're talking about the secondary. You got a defense. Husker fans, you'll just kind of giggle about this. This defense will be transitioning into a 3-3-5.
I'm getting bad flashbacks.
Why?
Because
It's really good.
Bob Diaco?
No, we're doing that now, aren't we? What are we running now?
Yeah, I know we are.
Oh,
but
Bob, that's not the strain is not there.
That
anymore,
reminds
okay?
me back with Bob Diaco.
Yeah,
because
the
that was
strain
a
is
big
not
deal.
real anymore.
Yeah.
Okay, but they're going to be transitioning that. Again, this team is going to be again. They're a work in progress. If you look at some of the quotes from some of their beat writers, they're hoping 4-8 at this point. This should be a game. Nebraska needs to be like figuring stuff out, learning, processing, running a lot of different plays, getting a lot of guys in and out of this game and get out of it healthy because of week 2 to go to play against Colorado.
Right. And you're not
work
going to
some
be
things out, right? Work some things out. But this is a game for me when I'm looking at it, regardless if it's UTEP or whoever, you need to go make a statement in game 1. This cannot be a game that looks sloppy. This cannot be a game that you go out and win 35-21, right? I'm talking about make a statement. You're on Fox. It's 2:30. Throw up a 50 nugget and give them none, right? And
Yes.
just run right through them. Maybe by the fourth quarter, you're up big time and you're getting, let's just say they have not named the starter yet, but let's just assume it's Dylan Raiola. Let's say in the fourth quarter, you've got everybody out of this game and you're comfortably ahead. You got 50 points or so on the board. You get your backups in, you get some playing time for some 4-game possible redshirt candidates and get out of it healthy.
Mm-hmm. Before I make these predictions, I just want to say to me, it's going to be really hard to make some predictions because of how do I put this? Classic Nebraska woes. If you know what I mean by that,
yeah,
right?
I know, but
like unlucky things that just happen. And I hope that's gone now. But if it's not gone, we're going to lose games that we're not supposed to lose. So I don't know. Is that going to be sticking around or not?
No, we got to be clean. I know what you're saying. We got to be clean.
Like the one score loss type thing. Like,
yes.
Is that classic Nebraska going to be sticking around?
We got to be clean. We got to be physical. We're not able just to go out and wake up and roll out of bed like we used to.
Yes.
And win a game. And again, Trish, I got your tweet. I appreciate it, man. They just need to win games. And nobody cares about style points. We're not in the business of saying we are better than anyone currently. I agree. I agree with that. That's why I'm saying this game 1, you got to come out, be clean, execute, and kind of start putting your name back on the map.
Yeah.
Right.
Also,
and again, if you win it close, I don't think you will in this game. I think you'll win one going away in this one. But it's got to start being clean. No fault, like limit the false starts, limit the turnovers. Defense has talked a lot about, you hear Coach White and those guys talking about takeaways. We got to get takeaways. We got to continue to have that solid run defense that we've had, but takeaways.
Yeah, and also this game 1, it's not like we're not going to be opening the whole playbook. Like we don't want to show Colorado everything, So I think the first game is going to be pretty vanilla. So I don't know. With that being said, how are you feeling about UTEP?
It's a win. That's a W.
We have to do scores. I'm keeping these.
Oh, you're keeping actual scores?
We're doing a little
scores?
Yes, we're doing score. What's the line? You have the line.
It doesn't. I looked it up. I couldn't find a UTEP line.
What?
No. When I looked it on the site that I look at, I could not find. Can you find one? This one didn't have UTEP listed.
Okay.
I have 11 other games listed, but I don't have the UTEP line. I mean, it's got to be 20s.
By the way, the Big Ten has a lot of Thursday games coming up in 10 days. North Carolina, Minnesota.
Ooh.
Yeah, okay. I can't really. UTEP, Nebraska. I got it at 27.5. Right, Nebraska.
Perfect. They cover 49-7. There you go.
You're going 49-7?
Yeah. Since you held my feet to the fire on that one.
Again, I think it's going to be a pretty vanilla game from Nebraska. They're not going to be trying to do too much. They're not going to show Colorado a lot. I'm going to go 38 to 10.
Wow.
38 to 10, Nebraska. All right.
Okay. Awesome. I find it interesting, by the way. Oh, no, I'll say that when we break down Colorado. We'll do that in a little bit, but let's take our first break. We come back and we'll talk with Evan Bland.
You're listening to the Morning Hookup with Bill Hooks and Will Wilson. More coming up.
Morning, Ryan. Morning, Greg. Thank you guys for hanging out. Barnett hit a bomb off hooks. Good dude. Hit his son is a Falcon boost baseballer. Gotcha. Ryan 840 in and out. Hopefully, totally vanilla playbook. Don't show color or anything. Honestly, don't care if we look flashy week one, which we won't. Osborne always look bad week one because he didn't open it. But yeah, it's gonna be it is. But you got to work out some stuff. You got to run some plays, right? You got to figure that I think the thing that Nebraska needs to figure out in week one, and maybe you don't get a good glimpse of it, is being physical and clean up front on the offensive side.
Yeah.
Because they're still working through the process of what that front five is going to look like.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah, I mean, that's going to be the one thing everyone's watching is the O-line. You're also going to be wondering who's going to be the first running back out there. Yeah, I mean, just don't.
There's
give
so many
Colorado
questions, and Theo, I agree. There's so many questions. The score thing we're doing is for fun. There's a lot of rosters and injuries. We don't know, but it's fun.
Too early for scores, period.
It is, but we're doing it.
Too early for scores. I'm Theo. Too early. No, let me get my Theo voice. It's too early for scores. It's our show.
God, you're coming at him.
I'll give scores if I want to.
You're coming at it. Right. If they love it, Hooks, you definitely need to establish running game with no more quarterback running game. Yeah, I don't see a lot of that.
You know what, though? I mean,
don't see a lot. I don't want to see a lot of that. Him scrambling.
I know, but it's in him.
It is. It is, but it's a scramble, and you better get your butt down and get out of bounds.
Yeah, right.
I don't want to see. Hopefully we don't. Maybe there is sometimes at points in games where you got to fight for a yard in a big moment in the game. You know?
Yes.
Not the time. Week one, any time. It'll be interesting to see what happens now, because I'm assuming at this point, and what I've heard.
Yeah, that was 2 weeks ago.
Is that
2 weeks ago was a long time.
Yeah. Is that I'm assuming, and I've also heard a little bit that, I mean, based on what we need to do in protecting, he hasn't been hit yet. Dylan hasn't been hit yet. Fall camp. I mean, obviously, you want to go into this thing healthy as possible. The last thing you need.
I just hope the unluckiness
that
in Nebraska football is gone. Because it's stuck around for way too long.
Theo, by the way, there's been other places that predicted this schedule like 6 months ago. They took the time 6 months ago to break this thing down. Agree, Shane. Hopefully, coaches.
Also, record predictions is different than score predictions.
Yeah, we're just going straight both. We're doing both. Our show's all in. But you know what? It's fine. It'll be fun to look back on. Got Evan Bland is on the rocky road. Let's go. Evan Bland. Is it high school football starts 2 weeks too, right? 2 weeks. There's no week 0 games, right? I think that's what Mo told us.
Yeah.
Nothing this week. It's next week.
Yeah. Well, we'll need to double check on that because I don't quite know.
We're also getting closer to this football thing.
Oh, hold on.
And I'm tired of talking.
Welcome back in the Morning Hookup. Happy Monday. Thanks for hanging out with us. Let's go to our guest, Evan Bland with the Omaha World Herald. Happy Monday, Evan.
Happy Monday, guys.
When you look, and I know it's interesting because now it's like everybody's back in school. You had some nice kind of weather. There's football, meaningful football on this Saturday. But when I looked at the game, it hurt me to know that we're going to be watching a game that's going to be in Ireland. I'm like, ugh. It'll be fun to watch, but the last time when I was there, that was not a whole lot of fun at the end of this.
No, it wasn't.
No,
and that's one of the handful of games I ended up not going to. So I watched it on TV with most of the fan base as well. So the week 0 games are fine, like the Illinois game too from a few years ago. Like it's fine, but it almost seems too early at some points. You kind of like to be part of opening day, so to speak, with everybody. And if you lose that game, it kind of feels like the season, it's kind of over in a sense before you hit September. And that's not where you want to be at all. So I have no problem kind of, hanging out and watching some of the games this weekend. And then the 31st ramps up and, having the game at home, having it in the United States, that just feels right.
Yeah, Evan, as we get closer to that game, we'll talk more about UTEP, but we just kind of got done breaking it down. I mean, early on, what do you see from them? And also from Nebraska's standpoint, we can't expect them to show really the whole playbook right before Colorado, right?
Not if you can avoid it. Yeah. It shouldn't come down to that. You wouldn't think. That's a program that I believe they were 3-9 last year. They underwent a coaching change, a lot of turnover. And I think, it's an interesting example of how I think these games early in the season are different than they were even 5 years ago, because there's so much, because the transfer portal and everything else going on. Like those lower programs see a ton of roster turnover every year. And I think UTEP's an example of that, where in addition to having a new coach, you have a ton of new players, you're trying to learn stuff. You're probably already at a talent disadvantage compared to a team like Nebraska. So like the advantages that the Huskers would have had 5 to 10 years ago, I think are exacerbated even further because of all those issues and things going on in college athletics and college football. So you would think that would be a great place for Nebraska to start, so it can, feel pretty good about winning its opener for the first time in 5 years, and to get a game at home and to do it. Like this was, it feels like a throwback game in a sense, because how many years in a row when Nebraska was at its height did it play an overmatched opponent at home to start the season? And 1-0 just kind of was automatic for more than 30 years. And then the last handful of years, not the case. And you start the season on the wrong foot, and it's kind of hard to bounce back from a confidence perspective sometimes. So I think you can't overstate how important it is to kind of get one of these, these bye games at home to establish yourself and get some momentum going into the season.
Yeah, Evan, that's a great point. When you look at a game like that, obviously, new coach, I mean, somebody said it was like 75% new roster, all this stuff. But how important it will be for Nebraska to find, that's what that game was always like fine tuning some stuff. But when I look at a game like this, I think with the situation that we've been in and where we're at right now, the offensive line will be a heavily looked at product, as well as how good that ground game will be in that game.
For sure. That's a game where you should be able to impose your will on the line, and that's supposed to be a strength of this team. And so if it is, that should show up pretty quickly right away against UTEP. You shouldn't need to get too exotic with the pass game or put the starting quarterback in harm's way very often. That should be a situation where Nebraska can build some confidence in its run game and feel pretty good about its group of running backs. You probably want Ramir Johnson and Gabe Irvin and Emmett Johnson and Dante Dowdell to feel good coming out of that game, and you can put a lot on those guys' shoulders. So yeah, I think that's certainly true. And if you're ever going to catch a team like UTEP that's starting over with a new coach, I mean, the opener is the time to do it. That's a group that's still learning about each other, whereas Nebraska, I mean, most of these guys have played together for multiple seasons. It's one of the older rosters in terms of starters in college football right now. So you would think that that should show up. And, you look at the recent history of Nebraska in these openers, when they roll, the seasons tend to be pretty positive. When it's a close game or if they suffer some kind of an upset at home, I mean, that's a major red flag. So should be a good early litmus test to see what kind of progress this team's made in the offseason. And again, if things go as Nebraska believes they will, then this will feel kind of like maybe a throwback opener from 10 or 15 years ago.
We're talking to Evan Bland with the Omaha World Herald. Evan, last week, Nebraska baseball coach Will Bolt got his extension, getting paid, what is $500,000 a year now?
Yeah, buddy.
Evan, talk about that extension and what it means for Nebraska, and also do the expectations kind of change at all?
Yeah, I mean, it was deserved. I mean, that's an extension you got to make. Essentially, they added 3 years onto his existing deal and an extra $100,000 a year, and $500,000 is right near the top in the Big Ten. I mean, you compare it to the SEC, and it's about half or a third of what those coaches make. So it's showing a commitment to college baseball from Nebraska. Obviously, it's not at a national level what maybe some of the top programs have, but you look at what Will Bolt has done. 2 Big Ten championships. You had the regular season one in the league only 21 season. You had the tournament title this past May in Omaha, and you have 2 NCAA tournament appearances in addition to that. Now, if you want to play the other side, they missed the Big Ten tournament in 22, and they didn't qualify for the NCAAs in 23 either. But I think this is a program that has found itself in terms of its staff too. I mean, since Rob Childress has come on as pitching coach, they've been recruiting really well at a high level. Mike Sirianni was another full-time assistant they brought over who'd been at Wichita State last year. And so what Nebraska is doing with talent acquisition is really positive right now. You look at some of the future classes they have. I think the next 3 are all rated in the top 60 nationally at this moment. But when you talk about expectations, to me, the big question is going to be, to what degree does Nebraska want to go all in on college baseball? Because now you have a roster limit coming in a year of 34 players where you could fully fund all of those. And for the last 30 years, college baseball has been limited to 11.7. So how much does Nebraska want to fund those additional scholarships? What does that look like with them in the Big Ten? I would certainly think that would continue to make them a contender in the league. And then how does that compare nationally? In terms of attendance and interest, Nebraska has been a top 15 program nationally for quite a while. But where will they fall now in terms of that financial commitment? I think that's the big question that has to be answered before you start talking about what do you expect from Will Bolt in the next 5 years, because this rule is just going to continue to, I think, further create the haves and the have-nots in the sport. I would anticipate Nebraska would be on the leading end of that, maybe if not at the very forefront, and certainly in that upper middle class. But if that's the case, then I think Nebraska should absolutely anticipate being in that NCAA tournament discussion 3 or 4 years out of 5, and maybe in that regional talk as they have been a couple of times as well. So that's kind of where I would start with that. But I do think there's a lot of momentum in the program right now, and that extension, in a lot of ways, was a no-brainer for Troy Dana to finish out.
Well, Evan, you mentioned also there, you got Coach Bolt, the extension. You mentioned Coach Childress and impact he's had, and it doesn't go any further than starting it on the mound. And they've done a phenomenal job when you look at especially the 25 class, and now adding another one on the mound. Talk about that, because pitching is where it all starts, and you got one of the best guys to recruit and develop on your staff.
Right, and you've seen them recruit at a really high level with Childress in place. I mean, Mason McConaughey, who became their number 2 last year, was a Childress ad. a lot of the top players they have incoming have told me that they wouldn't probably be at Nebraska if it wasn't for the chance to work with Childress. So, I mean, it's a big deal. And you look in terms of their immediate future, you lose Brett Sears, the Big Ten pitcher of the year, but everyone else who started a game for Nebraska on the mound is back, with McConaughey and Christo and Will Walsh. I mean, that's a heck of a place to start. And I think, when we start getting into next season, the thing that's different about this upcoming Nebraska team from some of its recent teams that have found success is like there's not a ton of turnover. I mean, if they want to, they could roll out the entire starting infield minus the catcher and the entire starting outfield that they use down the stretch if they want to. And then you talk about some of the players they added from the portal and some of the freshmen who had really good summers and are going to be coming in. So like suddenly this team looks not just talented, but sort of established as well. So I do think there's a lot of momentum. And of course, if you have another good season, that just keeps that recruiting snowball going as well. So I think the program's in a good place, in a stable place. Will Bolt doesn't want to go anywhere, and he has got a staff, I think, that's pretty committed to what they've got going on there at Haymarket Park too.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun to watch that develop. Evan, I want to go back to football one more time. Appreciate your time, but I want to talk about, have you talk about defensive backs, Coach John Butler. Obviously, pretty highly compensated defensive back coach. In that room, you look at that room, he's inherited a really good room that's highly competitive. And just what we know about Coach Butler and what we might see out of that room.
Well, there was the prevailing thought when he was hired a month ago that he could maybe be that defensive coordinator in waiting. To me, what I've seen in the month that he's been here really doesn't take away from that idea at all. I mean, he's very knowledgeable. Clearly, he's, from what I've seen in some of the open practice sessions, he's articulate. He's able to jump right in and demonstrate some of the techniques or things that they want to do. He's been a good mentor for some of the younger coaches. And so just really, I think, an impressive hire for Matt Rule at a point in the season when you don't want to be making staff hires the way that they are. And, I think it intersects with Nebraska and now at a time when these guys are going to benefit from his teaching. I mean, they have a veteran group with Isaac Gifford back there, Marquise Buford and Malcolm Hartzog, and you can kind of go down the line, but there's also that next wave of guys who are going to be taken over here in 2025, who are going to get some valuable instruction and valuable reps this year, from Mario Buford to Sierra Wright to, Amari Sanders. You kind of go down the line with that next wave of guys coming in. So it's a position group that I think needed and maybe still needs some definition in terms of who are your starters, who are your twos, who are your threes, and then how do you develop those guys behind the first five in. I think Butler's just been really impressive in that regard. He's no nonsense when he talks. He gets to the point. There's not a lot of pontificating or trying to be the main attraction. I mean, I think he's a ball coach who loves to talk ball, loves to go through that grind with his players, and that's just something that's going to benefit Nebraska at that position.
Evan, last one. As a Broncos fan, are you all in on Bo Nix?
Yes. I mean, what choice do I have? He's yes, I think so. He's looked pretty good in the spring, in the preseason here, I think. You got to have that guy. You got to have that franchise quarterback, and he hasn't done anything that makes me think he couldn't be that guy at this point. I don't know. Maybe I'm drinking the Kool-Aid a little bit. I saw some of the preseason power rankings, and I'm like, Denver maybe could be in the 20s, maybe. And I think ESPN had him at like 31 or something. And so that kind of poured some cold water on it a little bit. But yeah, I think if you can find that quarterback, man, you can build around that. So for that reason alone, there's going to be some intrigue this season for me.
Evan, man, we appreciate your time as always. Thanks for taking the time with us. We'll talk to you next week.
Thanks, guys. See ya.
Evan Blandon, my word here. Always good stuff with him, man. A lot of good talk there. A lot of good baseball stuff with Evan and football. So let's take a break. We'll come back, and we're going to look at Colorado, Nebraska.
You're listening to the Morning Hookup with Bill Hooks and Will Wilson. More coming up.
Good morning, Claire. She's late. Says she's late, but she's here. We got another T-shirt design update.
We need to work on your.
Me?
Yeah, you.
What did I do now?
Nothing. You're doing great. I think we need to work on your to breaks.
My outs.
Yeah,
Just
your
say
outs.
when I'm going to break.
Yeah,
I'll work on it. I'll focus.
you did great. Just maybe at the end of that, just say that's next.
That's
or
next.
that's after the break.
Let me write this.
You know what I mean?
Break after the break.
Yeah, break after the break.
I'll just start doing that from now on.
Yeah, that's fine.
We'll work on it, man.
I'm not trying to
You're
embarrass
tough.
you.
I'm 46, man. I've embarrassed myself enough.
Okay. Ernesto could help you. He knows a lot about radio. He could help you with that.
Could. Yes, he could.
Yeah.
Right 840. Go Bo Nix. Heck yeah, Evan is on board Broncos country.
I'd take Bo Nix right about now.
Yeah.
For a Vikings fan.
Yeah, you would. It's interesting. I was talking about because fantasy football drafts are coming up,
Yes.
a lot. They're coming up pretty quick for a lot of people. And it's a lot of the conversation just in the receiver room has been the value of Justin Jefferson.
Yeah, is Sam Darnold going to have this resurgence?
No.
He has to. He has to if the
You want
Vikings
the
want any
answer?
chance to.
No.
I mean, he hasn't had a good season anywhere.
No.
So why would he have it now? But also not just JJ or not just McCarthy, but they've had a few other injuries too,
Yeah.
or in other
What is
situations.
their offense other than JJ? Who else do they have? I don't even know.
Well, Addison, they have Jordan Addison, who kind of had a breakout
is he
year.
suspended?
Yeah, he messed up, and then there was one of their other receivers got hurt in camp. I can't remember his name.
You're gonna have a
But
rough year.
they're having a tough luck here early.
We'll be doing some NFL.
Not to mention one of their youngest talents on the defensive side died.
Oh, I know. That's terrible. Ugh. We're gonna be doing some NFL breakdowns later in the week too.
Yeah.
At some point, we'll make predictions about divisions and talk about your favorite teams. I'm sure you and Triz can get another bet. I don't know if you want to go there this year.
Well, he hasn't paid up on his last
I'm
one.
sure you don't want to go there this year, though.
I don't know. I mean, listen, I'm a huge Gardner Minshew fan.
Yeah, can you believe that? That's interesting.
So I may
Gardner
actually
Minshew.
have to root for the Raiders this year because of him. What did Shane
Right
say?
at 40, Bob said, I feel like I feel like Jefferson could get 1,100 yards and 8-9 tutties with Will at quarterback.
Yeah, I mean,
Even with you at quarterback.
he's an easy target. And Shane, I mean
true.
that's the ideal thing. That's the ideal
You're hoping.
situation.
You're
Is it?
hoping. I wonder. I'd have to look. I know we're coming back here, aren't we? Just wonder what those divisions look like now with that. Oh, just have a couple up. They don't have all the odds up right now for all the divisions. Where I'm looking.
Come on board to the dark side, Will. Hey man, I'm not going to be against them. Like I like Gardner. I do. I got to root for the guy.
Season wins. They've got Minnesota now after all that. I mean, I'm sure I don't know what it was before. Over under 6.5
for Vikings. 6 wins. Oh God.
The money's on the overs, by the way.
Well, I mean, and I don't disagree with that. It's
it could have been more. I don't know.
The thought of only getting 6 wins is terrible.
One, also, you'd have to assume you don't even know if at the point, I mean, if J.J. McCarthy was even the starting guy.
Right.
He's getting the nod. Welcome back in the Morning Hookup. Special thanks to Evan Blam, Omaha World Herald. I don't know if you saw this, if you watched it like I did. I talked about watching the FedEx Cup playoffs. I love it because of I watched the top end of it, but that middle ground, because that last week you were battling to be the top 50 to get in, right?
Uh-huh.
Top 50 played in the top 30. Tom Kim had the worst. At the one moment in time, about 45 minutes to an hour's worth of time, might have had the worst possible situation.
Uh-oh.
He finished, this is 16, 17, 18, bogey, double. That put him at 51st. He finished at 51. He dropped 5 strokes in 3 holes
Oh my
to
God.
miss out on playing this week. Season over. Keegan Bradley gets in at the 50 spot.
Good for him.
Can you believe that? I was watching it going,
Well, in Matsuyama tried to give that
he
away.
did. He did. His was a crazy story. We didn't really talk about that story about the caddy situation when he was out in Paris. He got robbed. There was like wallets and passports gone. People can't get back in the country.
Wow.
His caddy did not. He was his not normal caddy this week.
Oh, wow.
And he goes out and does it. So the top 50 now will go on to play this week somewhere in Colorado. They're all chasing Scotty Scheffler in that group. But now this week you can watch that 30 mark, right? You watch it. They're like, guys, let's say 30 to 40. I'll throw 30 to 40 in there. You've got Tommy Fleetwood at 31. Matt Fitzpatrick coming in at 36. Will Z 37. Cameron Young at 39. Also look at the top over there. Davis Thompson, Tom Hoagie, Brian Harmon, Denny McCarthy, 26 to 30.
Mm-hmm.
Those guys, you're not in.
Yeah.
Notables to miss was Jordan Spieth as well.
Yeah, well, he has to have
Wrist surgery.
surgery.
He's got a big surgery coming up on that. My guys like Justin Rose, 55 on the way out, 57. Harris English on the way out. I just love watching it because they now turn on the little mark in the corner with every result, bogey, double, par, birdie. That little number flips.
Okay. During the break, there was a few people trying to get me onto the Raiders bandwagon. Greg said there's plenty of room.
Oh, yeah. Ryan Smith, plenty of room.
I'm not going to go.
I'm sure Triz will let you come on too.
Yeah, Triz will let me. But there's no room on the Jaguars bandwagon, I'm sure.
Oh,
Ernesto.
Ernesto, what's up?
Duval.
Yeah. Yeah, right. Not
Hey,
happening.
You can get on their side
Will-
and go.
Mm-mm.
Okay. Well,
Go.
I'm gonna mark that. You know, I tape every call, so I got that one. How'd you like the pic in the video of my boy?
That thing was sweet. The surfing video?
Yeah,
Yeah, that thing. Like he was in the Pike. Is that called the Pike?
the pipe. Yeah, the pipe.
Boom.
Yeah, he's getting what do they call it? Covered, and shade and all that stuff. That's what they call it. But it's all good. But I had a dream last night since we had a thunderstorm. It was all dark, and the Wicked Witch of the West Wing came flying over my house. And she had a KFOR logo on the broom she was sitting on. And I got 2 things for Rob. I got a Chipotle hack for him. You'll never have to buy plastic utensils again. Just get as many as you want from Chipotle. And if you find a receipt on the ground, put it in your app. You'll never pay for another burrito again. And also, I want to thank my sponsor, Rob's Wallet. They refuse to open up. Woo!
Oh, that's good. Thank you, Ernesto.
One of these days, we got to get Rob in here. When
Have
he
him talk
calls.
to him.
Yeah.
Have a little fun with him. So.
Yeah. All right. Well,
Yeah, here we go. Colorado game 2, September 7th, 6:30 at night. Listen. for
I'm
this
going,
game-
by the way.
We're going. That's awesome. I'm going. One thing I hope for this game. So many times Nebraska has an opportunity as from a fan perspective to be a factor. And there's times that they miss, right? Times that we miss. I'm hoping, I'm flashing back to like when Miami came to town. I want this to be that environment. I don't need it to be toxic and fights in the stand. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about loud. I'm talking about deafening noise and just being that. I hate to call it the 12th, whatever, but be that. This environment needs to be that way.
Yes.
Okay. This isn't Nebraska nice time. And like I said, I'm not talking about what they do to us or that or whatever. I'm just saying this has got to be so electric. And this is a game to me that will all be won early. Being physical early, smacking them in the mouth early. To me, again, Colorado, Shador, he's good. Okay, he's good. What do we do to contain him? To do that, they're going to have 50-something new faces. It's transfer university right now. I think I read somewhere they only have like 10 freshmen incoming.
Yeah.
Okay. They've got to go out. They got a new defensive coordinator. They have another play caller too. They've revamped everything. New line. We don't know. Obviously, Shador got his butt kicked last year from the sack, but he got hit a lot. Deion ain't gonna let his son get hit anymore, or try not to.
Yeah. Well, and I think back to last year's game too. Quarterback play was the ultimate factor in that game for Nebraska.
Well, we were crap.
Yeah, we were awful.
Jeff Sims was not good. Fumbling inside the red zone, fumble here. I mean, we just weren't good.
Yeah, and I mean,
Okay.
our defense, I mean, we really got to Shador. We made that O-line look awful. So if that could happen again, I mean, that's a good thing for Nebraska.
He got sacked 56 times last year.
That's crazy.
That was the second most in college football.
That's crazy. Now, is Colorado a good team? We don't know. I do think it's crazy to think that we're going to blow them out.
They have two dynamic players for sure.
Yeah.
Shador and Travis Hunter.
Mm-hmm.
They got two really stinking good ones. Right? This thing, to me, it's offensively. I don't know how good defensively Colorado will be. For us in this game, it'll be how we control their offense.
Yep, definitely.
Right.
And, yeah, I mean, home game, under the lights, like Henry T always likes to say, that's what, in basketball, that's 10 points automatically, but that's basketball.
Yeah. I mean, they got 10 new offensive linemen coming in.
Do you think them playing NDSU week one comes in a factor at all? I mean,
maybe. I think
they're going to learn a lot about themselves after that game. That could really help them.
It was interesting. So I was going to bring that up. I looked at this and I was kind of looking at some spots. They've got a line out for that game. It's at Colorado. NDSU's come down. And it's a pretty prominent, big time, been good.
New coach.
Yep. Colorado's only a single-digit favorite in that game.
Yeah, I mean, they're no slouch.
9 points. No, I don't know.
It's a tough week one game.
It'd be
for
interesting
Colorado.
to see tough week one game. It'd be interesting to see how their season goes and how the Deion thing gets worn on people. It's already done it with a reporter.
Yeah,
because CBS put an article out that he was one of the worst coaches in the Big 12.
Yeah, right.
And he wouldn't talk to CBS. It had nothing to do with you, CBS. Like, it's just keeping receipts.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Again, this will be one of those. Can Nebraska stop Shador and Travis Hunter on the offensive side in their run game and things like that? And will Nebraska be able to just? I don't think you can get into a foot race with this one.
Mm-hmm.
Points upon points upon points upon points. I don't think you can do that.
Right. And it's,
in my opinion. Now, if you look at some of their beat writers out there, they got some stuff. They're talking about, hey, this guy is landing anywhere from 6 to 8 wins for Colorado this year.
And that's, by the way, that's more.
He thinks they're a bowl team at best.
That's more than what they got last year. Let's also not forget how they ended.
I'm
last
sure this
year.
guy, by the way, if Deion read this, he's probably not allowed back in the room.
Yeah, probably.
I apologize. Sorry. I appreciate him talking about it, but he's probably not allowed back in the room.
Probably. It would shock me if Colorado makes a bowl this year. But again, like Trish said, it's foolish to think that we could blow out or beat anybody.
Oh, absolutely. It is. Absolutely.
What's the line on this game you got?
I got the early line. It's sitting at 7. Nebraska by 7. That's an early line.
Okay.
That's an early line, my friend.
I'm going to be pretty moderate with this score. I think I'm going to hit it right on the line. I'm going to go 28-21 Nebraska.
Dang it. I was 28-20.
Okay.
I was thinking 28-20, 21-17. I'm going to go 21-17. Nebraska wins. They cover. Colorado, by the way, if you're betting it out there, if you're trying to get something on the books, their numbers set at 5.5, and it's going towards over the 5.5.
Okay.
If that's your fancy, if you like to do that kind of stuff.
All right.
Okay.
I just hope it's out of all the games, this one's like really hard because a team like Colorado bringing in so many new players, we don't know how the culture is. Like, according to some reports, the culture is
bad,
crap
toxic,
there.
whatever.
We don't know what's true.
We don't know what's true. And again, who knows?
Yeah.
Who knows?
God,
I think Nebraska has got to do punch early, but not get over their skis and try to remember last year. Just be who you are and go after it.
I mean, but it's okay to use that as motivation.
It is. I'm sure. And just not talk so much. Don't talk for this game.
Yeah. Let's
go win the first game. Go back to business. Come out and take care of business game 2. Then It's an interesting game because you win that game and then you're 2-0, and then there's some momentum being built now.
Yeah, but if you lose that game, I mean, there's a lot of fans that think the season's pretty much
Yeah,
over.
I
Like
know.
this
Well, that's
game,
typical Nebraska fans, though.
Yeah, but this is one of those games. I just hope we go out there and we smack that Shedeur Sanders in the jaw.
Whoa. Okay, there you go. That's game 2. We'll have 2 more tomorrow. Are we taking a break or are we gonna stay here?
Let's keep it here.
You want to keep it here?
Yes.
That's good stuff. All right, let's rock some stories that we missed.
Okay, hold on one sec.
You weren't ready for that. Sorry.
I was not ready
That's
for that.
my bad.
It's okay. All right, let's do it.
Stories that we missed.
The stories we miss. The Morning Hookup.
You mentioned this earlier. I don't know if it was before the show or during the stream. Colt McCoy retires from football and gets a TV job. How about that?
Our good old buddy, Colt McCoy.
Nobody wants to remember that guy.
Although, I will admit, outside of the Texas game, he's honestly been a likable guy. Especially in the NFL.
No, he's not.
I know. I really do think that.
CBS, I mean, he'll be on NBC. A lot of people are like, well, Colt McCoy is sliding Lincoln with 1 second to spare. Yuck. I've seen that joke all over the board.
Well, here's what I'm interested about is he's going to be calling that Nebraska-Colorado game.
Oh.
He's going to bring it up. I mean, it's going to be brought up that game.
I hope not.
He's going to
I'm glad I'm not. I'm glad I'm going to the game and I want to listen to it.
Well, no, I'm curious what he has to say about it.
Okay. Yuck.
Former NFL player Gosder Cherilus,
Sure.
played for the Colts among other teams. He was arrested.
Oh man.
After allegedly urinating on a passenger during a flight.
What?
Yeah, he was
What's
on
happening?
He was on a plane and then he apparently peed on somebody.
Did he have to go? Like, was it bad?
Well, it could be multiple things. Maybe he had to go and he couldn't hold it in. Maybe he, was insane and was mad at somebody and just peed on them. Or maybe it was a sexual thing. Maybe he was trying to join the Mile High Club, but it's the, peeing, the golden shower type thing.
Yuck.
Yeah.
I read something the other day and I actually heard it. It was on Sportsing this morning. It was interesting. I didn't realize this, but we just saw the end of the Bay Series in baseball.
Yeah.
San Francisco, Oakland. They just finished up, I believe, their last ever Bay Series, as next year, A's will go to Sacramento and then off to Vegas.
Yes. But we need to do a follow-up on that Vegas thing because I don't think they have funding for that stadium yet in Vegas. I don't think they've locked down the funding.
Wow.
Yeah. So we'll see about that.
Well, also out there, WNBA, man. I know there's been a lot of talk about Caitlin Clark adjusting, and all that stuff. She made more history on Sunday, by the way. Just a few games in. Most assists by a rookie in WNBA history. How about that in the third quarter of their game? Yep. Most assists, 23 points, 5 rebounds, 9 assists.
And she didn't make the Olympic team.
I know. She wasn't ready.
She was clearly ready.
That's all right. Hey, you guys are awesome. I hope you guys are having a great Monday. Enjoy it. Take care of yourselves and each other, and we'll catch you on a Tuesday.